Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Today will be day 18 of the civil trial of the century, as some have billed it. It will also be Amber Heard's third day on the stand, giving her testimony in chief. Not that it's a competition, but Johnny testified for 2 days under direct examination and was cross-examined for 2 days as well. Will Amber Heard be on the stand for 3 days? Will she be cross-examined for 3 days, 4 days? How long? And so what can we expect this week? First of all, we'll be jumping right back into the thick of things with Amber Heard resuming her testimony. In case you haven't noticed, Amber has been taken systematically and chronologically through the timeline of their relationship. And that narrative has been peppered with exhibits meant to corroborate her story, photos, texts, place names, timestamps, witnesses. If there's anything defective, deficient, or inaccurate, you can be sure that the prosecution will jump onto certain of those exhibits to question the veracity of them. One of the people she's mentioned as a witness is a younger 34-year-old sister, Whitney Heard, sometimes also referred to as Whitney Henriquez. But before we get to Amber's sister, the prosecution will cross-examine Amber Heard, and Camille Vasquez from Johnny Depp's legal team will be the one to do that. Vasquez gave part of the opening statement, and when she did, she described Amber as giving the performance of a lifetime.
Ms. Heard took on the role of a lifetime. She can't back down. She has been living and breathing this lie for years now. And she has been preparing to give the performance of her life in this trial. But this trial is about the evidence.
The fact that a woman will be cross-examining a woman on the topic they'll be discussing isn't an accident. Optics are important in a jury trial, and part of the theatre is creating an impression that defies or counters the impression of the charges or the trial itself or of the opposing counsel. In this case, the impression is that Johnny Depp mistreated Amber, and so in court you see so much warm, touchy-feely friendliness from his female counsel. There have been rumors that they are having an affair. But before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So over the past few days, there have been headlines such as, is Johnny Depp dating his attorney? And is Johnny Depp dating his lawyer, Camille Vasquez? And then more recently, Johnny Depp not dating his attorney despite social media buzz. Now, you must bear in mind, for the jury who are sitting behind Depp, and so that is to his left, each time they see Depp and Vasquez interacting right in front of them, it communicates a message. It communicates a message about how he treats a woman and how a particular woman sees him. And the message is basically, he's a nice guy, he's friendly, he's considerate, she trusts him, she believes him, he's soft-hearted, he's sweet, etc. By contrast, you often see Amber Heard seated beside her female counsel as a subtle reminder that she's being comforted and protected by a maternal figure, as if she needs comforting and protecting. And so you have this archetypal thing of a woman who is sort of playing almost a maternal, motherly figure, and she's there in terms of Amber's experience with the male figure represented at trial. She's sort of intervening. I'm not saying both counsels don't have men in their counsels, but the optics nevertheless are worth looking at. When I covered the Oscar Pistorius trial, there were two long-haired blonde paralegals, often seated near to where Oscar was seated. If Oscar killed his girlfriend, you might think subconsciously, why would these young women be so comfortable and at ease around him? And that was exactly the point. In the Jodi Arias case, Juan Martinez could probably have done with a female co-counsel to deal with that aspect of the case as well. At some point, the defense will also be calling Depp's former fling, Ellen Barkin. I think she's about 68 years old at this point. Ellen played a waitress in Depp's 1998 film Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. She also testified about Depp during the Sun trial 2 years ago. I hear over and over again that the British legal system is either irrelevant or means nothing compared to the American justice system, when of course the American justice system at federal and state level is derived in large part from the common law system of English law. You might know that if you studied law like I did for 4 years. Anyway, according to Newsweek, Barkin has said the following about Depp. She said, quote, "There's always an air of violence around him." In the case notes for the 2020 Depp versus News Group Newspapers Limited trial, it's a case that Depp ultimately lost. Barkin apparently said, "There was just this world of violence. He is a yeller. He is verbally," and then she uses another word there. We'll probably hear Barkin testifying that she saw or knew about Depp hurling a wine bottle across the room, and this then being minimized to, well, did it hit anyone? Was anyone injured? I think one can kind of just think about that in a rational way and a reasonable way and say, have you ever hurled a wine bottle across the room? Most reasonable people haven't. Anyway, just bear in mind this incident happened almost 25 years ago. But as recently as February of last year, Ellen Barkin criticized Depp indirectly in this tweet. She wrote, "Judging by Twitter replies, the way to defend Marilyn Manson is to discuss his deep and loyal friendship with Johnny Depp." So the idea will be to have a third woman accusing Depp of being angry, volatile, and whatnot. And you might be able to dismiss what Amber Heard says, but it becomes a little bit more difficult. Or perhaps if you're the internet, it's never a bridge too far. Maybe it wouldn't matter how many people you brought, it simply wouldn't matter. Anyway, finally, Johnny Depp will be called as a defense witness, possibly to corroborate what he sent in a text in July 2015, where he apparently admitted that he cut the top of his middle finger off. Finally, we are not the only ones who have studied, reviewed, and perhaps rewatched some aspects of the testimony. You can bet not only have both counsels assessed what has already been said and compiled a sort of scoreboard, but Johnny and Amber have likely studied their own respective performances and the court's and social media's responses as well. As actors, they will likely be interested in being more effective and getting a better response in their respective roles in court. So we are likely to see some fine-tuning on both sides in terms of how each presents itself. We may see less jokes and jibes from Depp's side, or we might see more. We may see Amber Heard less emotional, or more. And we're also likely to see the internet become increasingly unhinged, because isn't that what the internet does? Reality, facts, and evidence isn't its strongest suit. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.